Today is October 19th, 2025. Today I ended up going to the Tuscarawas Sheriff's. Had a talk with the lady deputy, the one that came out when Bob and Karen, his stepson and his girlfriend, showed up, what was it? About 2 or 3 months ago, caused that scene, scared Carl so bad he shit himself. Yeah, they told her that my apartment was filthy. They never been in it. They lied to the police. Absolutely lied to them. I told her, I said, they were never in my apartment, ever. It's always clean. She said, I realize that. She said, when they said that, I said, and I walked in and it was spotless. I said, they have never been in it. I said, in this little orphan Annie thing they're doing, Jim Ballou, the real dad, just died a few years ago. And they knew him and had a relationship with him. They're lying to everybody. We talked about that Rick let her listen how he admitted he knew transactions in her checking account. A personal note that I wrote, Carl, that he has it, my I love you notes and all that are missing. He's been in our apartment. I said, I took a picture of the door. You can see it's been played with a little bit. She said, you can see that. She said, and I let her listen to the voicemail. She said, well, we got him for harassment, definitely. Definitely for harassment. I said, well, he's been in our checking account. I said, otherwise he wouldn't know. Or about that personal note, and all those notes are gone. He's been in my apartment, going through my things, and took things out of his own confession. Told me to move and move fast. Got Carl staying with a family friend. A big, huge guy. Oh, yeah, he wouldn't want to show up there. He's got cameras everywhere, too. Last week, you either call me, or I'll call the Humane Society on you. I'll have them tell you got dementia, Alzheimer's. Oh, he even said a deputy showed up at the farm, and him and his friend told a deputy that Carl has dementia and Alzheimer's. He's never been diagnosed with either one. He has no memory loss at all. Dementia and Alzheimer's are not a normal part of aging. It's plaque building up on your brain that slowly kills your brain. It has nothing to do with aging. It's plaque building up in your brain. And Carl told him about them waiting for him at 4 o'clock in the morning to confront him if he was going to sell that farm. And we got to know now his grandson Matt, and was yelling at him. I said his whole face was twitching when I got off work. She said he should have called 911. Him even being out there waiting for him is stalking and harassment. That is an aggression, and he should have been arrested for being out there at 4 in the morning. See, he didn't have his permission to be there. And he's waiting there to confront him. And she told me, she said, you need to move. Don't tell anybody where you move, and get your husband out of here. Well, he left voicemails. You either call me, text messages, or I'm calling the Humane Society. I'm going to tell them you have dementia, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you're abusing that horse. For one thing, he's not been down there in weeks. He has it's actually his daughter Desi's horse, and her and an old neighbor has been feeding it. Carl hasn't even went to his own farm. He's too scared he's going to get kidnapped or bashed in the back of the head. Okay? And you don't want to be killed. Hmm? Well, he called the... Carl wouldn't respond to his threats, his blowing up the phone, ignoring the bad behavior. Ignoring it. The harassment. Well, he called the Humane Society. And Desi was out there when she showed up. And then Desi's said something about marks. I said, Carl, was there marks on that horse? He said, not when I seen it. He took Danny out to look at that horse on October 6th. It's the 19th. Okay? 13 days ago. I have pictures of that horse. It's perfect. Oh, Desi sent me pictures. It's got a hole in the side of its head that big. A scratch mark all the way down his face. Somebody beat that horse. And then called the Humane Society. That's Desi's horse, and she loves it. I can't imagine her purposely putting a hole in the side of its face. You know, the scratch could be bumping into a railing or something, but no, it's scratched like it's been hit. But the hole, my son Danny has a friend that has a farm that will take the horse. Danny is going to get a vet to come down and check it out and trim its hooves. And it can live on a really nice farm. I got to tell the Humane Society we got to get it off. And he'll kill it. That Rick will kill that horse. He will kill it, despite his father. He told his sister Audrey that if he had to get his dad arrested to stake that farm, he'll get him arrested. He beat that horse. He put a hole in it. Or he had somebody do it. Because I have a picture of the last time Carl seen it when he showed it to Danny. There's not a mark on it. Oh, I'm going to be giving that to the Humane Society. And there's a good chance he did it or had somebody do it. Because I asked the neighbor that helps feed it, that he helped in the beginning of last week. There was nothing on its face. Just like there was nothing wrong with its face. On the 6th. Got pictures of it being perfect. That's how not funny it is. And when a deputy sheriff shows up and said something to Rick about him threatening his dad's life, he's like, oh, he's got dementia all the time. So my friend will verify. He's like, oh, yeah, he's got it. He's never even been tested. He don't have any. There's no reason to even test him for it. He can tell you about Korea. He can tell you about driving a tank. He can tell you about how to truck. He can run a tractor, bale 80-pound bales of hay, and he's 80 years old. See, that's where Alzheimer's and dementia are not a normal part of aging. It's plaque buildup on your brain. There was no ever any evidence of it, nor any kind of memory or brain function going down. He can drive a car from A to B. He can even tell you how to get places. He gives his own meds. He orders his meds from the doctor. He can cook, clean, dishes, laundry. Yeah. He can tell you who the president is, and he laughs that they're the same age of the president. He's the same age as the president of the United States. Get the idea? When you get that old, and you don't end up with dementia or Alzheimer's, age is a number. I had a client that her husband was 85. Still drove his car, checkbook, dishes, laundry, and he took care of his dying wife while he had stage 4 cancer, taking himself to chemo. The guy is badass at 85, and when you talk to him, you think it was just 70. See, that's where aging isn't Alzheimer's and dementia. It's plaque buildup on your brain. It only happens to some people. And him, he has no access to Carl's medical records. He has no way of talking to his doctor. There is severe HIPAA violations. No doctor can talk to anybody without your consent. It's a 10-year federal sentence. That's where these people, the dirty doctor from before not being one of hers, works for them and they had lied. Michelle confessed March 27th, 25 to a federal agent. And then in front of a whole bunch of feds on April 17th, 25. And then the cartel admitted it's a scam. May 26th, 25. And then the Louisville police, May 30th, 25, and they have that tape. So they said it in Walmart 62 on May 26th, 25. Their dirty doctor taping her unaware, confessing a crime, sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. And Michelle said it's not one of her doctors. He works for them and they had lied and she actually don't know who it is. Dave told Danny it's just some guy named Pete he hired on his own. It's a scam. For the whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons. The photoshopping and washing, the hypnotic drugs. Oh, I said something to Danny and Jen today. Oh, I did. He said, I talked to Dad. Dad told me I'm going to go to hell. I said, I want you to look at him. And I said, you know what I want you to tell him? A flat out statement. You are going to burn in hell for the crimes you committed. He said, what? I said, I want you to tell him you will burn in hell for the crimes you've committed. Leave it open as that. And he'll be saying, what? Oh, what'd she say? Da-da. I said, yeah, you wait. He said, I can't say that to him. I said, you need to. He said, I do not need backlash from way across the country. I said, I want you to think about that. And we talked about that. Michelle confessing that this whole thing was nothing but her family's debt to drug dealers. And how she had already confessed to a federal agent and he broke up with her. After she confessed, he broke up with her of the doctor from before not being one of hers, works for them. And they had lied he was one of my doctors. And she actually don't know who he is. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to leave me incompetent or kill me, and it didn't work. And then he broke up with her. I said, Carl seen her April 17th, 25, screaming it out, and she's so mad that guy broke up with her. Carl's like, yeah, and she was out there, and I really liked him, and when I confessed that, he broke up with me. I said, that's okay, September 30th, 25, she was out there, blah, 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 how this whole thing is her family's debt to drug dealers. She confessed to human trafficking people. And I went through the whole thing of September 30th, 25. Where they confronted her, if I knew who she was, and she's like, no, I don't want her to know who I am. And if I knock on that door, will she know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. And you had her blah, 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 bashed in the back of the head. She had me raped and tortured, and I don't even know her. And because your family was in debt to drug dealers, yes, I'm sorry. Watched September 13th, 23, of when she sat and talked with her friend Matt, and he said the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life over her case because they thought that he let all those people be human trafficked, and it was your family doing it. Yes, I'm sorry. And your family human trafficked people to pay off those drug dealers. And she's like, yes, I'm sorry. She's sorry. People are dead and she's sorry. She's sorry? What? It would be so dramatic to be poor? Yeah. and how, I mean, I went through blah, 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 blah. I said, hey, Jen, when we went to walk out, oh, and I said, I said they had also, a while back ago, called FBI agent John and Coward. I said, do you remember when I used to complain I had a metal taste in my mouth? And I had all those bruises? Yeah, I remember that. I said, these people have admitted to walking up and stabbing me with a hypnotic drug and drugging me and telling me to say stuff and were beating on me. And I said, that's what was supposed to be causing it. And I said, you know that so-called tape of Weird with Yourself? They're supposed to put my head on somebody else's body showering. That's why nobody knew about it. And how her and her family ran this big scam on me. Drug confessions and photoshopping and washing. Yeah. Little eye-opening. They need to start realizing. Start realizing. I already told her, I said she already confessed that some doctor from before was never one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. When they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. As soon as she confessed to that guy, he broke up with her. And she really liked him. I said, she's out in April 1725 in Sheetz parking lot in Hartville, and these big government SUVs go, whomp. I said, I got her. Carl's like, yeah, you could hear her scream across the parking lot. And he started giggling. I know. And then September 30th, 25, oh my God, and why all this happened. I gotta get to work. I am tired. I have a headache. A bad one. And I gotta go to work. I gotta find a new place to live. Agent John, you've already got all this wrapped up and handed to you in a platter. May I have my money now? Can I have my money now? I needed to move and I need to hide. Okay?